Baofeng UV-5G, also known as UV-5X, takes a form factor very familiar to most users. This is the Baofeng UV-5R, with changes that make it FCC legal, and it's locked to Gmrs frequencies. To be fair, Baofeng has made efforts to make it a decent Gmrs radio, and the changes show themselves quite nicely. Plus, there's an advantage to the UV-5R style construction. This allows a wider variety of accessories, including battery options available for the radio. Speaking of batteries, the default pick here is the 1800 mAh BL5 lithium-ion battery, although it remains compatible with the larger 3800 mAh BL5, should you need more juice. Once you need to charge, just drop the transceiver in the cradle and the charger will get to work. The cradles, batteries, and the Kenwood-style 2-pin wire connector can be shared across UV-5R style models. What isn't compatible with other UV-5R style models is the antenna. The FCC doesn't allow changeable or removable antennas on FRS devices. However, it is possible to change antennas on GMRS devices. The UV-5G is a GMRS device, but it also has FRS capabilities. To get around the problem, Baofeng and Radioddity, who distributes this radio in the US, changed the antenna connector from the classic model. They've also added a screw in there, accessible through an Allen wrench, so you can change the antenna. But there are a few extra steps involved, and you'd have to look for a compatible antenna. Also, if you change the antenna, the device is technically no longer legal on FRS, though the enforcement of this rule is questionable. UV-5G has undergone some changes and firmware updates since its launch. For one, the name changed from UV-5X to UV-5G, but what's more relevant is other changes that affect the use and quality of this transceiver. On its launch, UV-5G wasn't compatible with Chirp, and instead relied on Baofeng software, which wasn't all that polished either. Additionally, it came preset with CTCSS tones, which were set up in a way that the transceiver could only communicate with Baofeng GMRS radios using the same tone. Both these problems were rectified later. While the older models got a firmware upgrade, the newer models are good to go right out of the box. The radio is now compatible with Chirp as Radioddity UV-5G. Additionally, it no longer comes with preset tones, so the compatibility with other devices has improved. On the topic of connectivity, the HT has 30 pre-programmed GMRS channels and 8 repeater pairs programmed at channels 23 to 30. It also receives 11 NOAA weather channels and offers dual-band monitoring. Overall, Baofeng UV-5G is a decent GMRS radio with good features and acceptable audio quality. It is compatible with Chirp and Baofeng software and remains relatively easy to program. To sum up what we like is the attractive pricing. It's compatible with UV-5R accessories, decent battery life, and it's repeater capable. On the downside, the stock rubber ducky antenna is barely average. Our ratings for features are 8 out of 10. Value for money, 9 out of 10. Audio clarity, 7.5 out of 10. Ease of use, 8 out of 10, for an overall rating of 7.5 out of 10.